Well. Tell us how you really feel. Okay. They're not playing. Stephen A., do you have a problem with those comments?
Yeah, but not in a way that how can I put this? First of all, Bill Romanowski, I mean, he's going to be excessive. That's just who he is. I mean, you know, and a lot of people despise Bill Romanowski in a lot of ways. I don't. I love the guy because as a football player coming up old school, that's just who he was. And he was unapologetic about it. And I will remind y'all, he has several titles. I mean, this dude played the way, you know, the NFL, that's the stuff you did back in the day. That's where he's from. So I'm not going to knock him like a lot of other people would. That's wrong because that's where he's from. Those are the rules that were employed. Some were written, some were unwritten. But that's what he did. And it worked for him because he's got more Super Bowl rings than most people will ever have in their careers. Rodney Harrison, champion. I know him. He's a friend. I don't like when I hear somebody say targeting the knee, but I listened to what Rodney Harrison said in terms of his explanation. You want to discourage a quarterback from running. Well, now that changes things. He didn't say I'm trying to ruin his career. He didn't say I'm trying to, you know, just hurt him to be hurting him. There's a Super Bowl title on the line. And the impediment to our potential success is you running the football on us. I'm going to do what I need to do to discourage you from running the football. It's a Super Bowl title, man. I don't like it because I don't like how the NFL has essentially encouraged you to go low. But to me, let's say, for example, if Rodney Harrison said, well, you got bionic legs and hurting you and trying to take you out at the knees won't cut it. But if I cave your chest in, that'll do the trick. Well, would we have a problem with it then? No, we wouldn't.
Nope.
Because he's not speaking to actually doing bodily harm for the sake of doing bodily harm. What he's saying is, I'm trying to stop you from having the one advantage that could cost me a Super Bowl title. And if it means caving your chest in, separating your shoulder, knocking you upside your head, none of us will have a problem with it. We have a problem with it because obviously the knees are a very vulnerable part of the anatomy for a football player. And by highlighting the knee, we'll say, ooh, that makes us cringe. We don't like it. It sounds dirty. But in actuality, you're trying to do what it takes to win. And if it's within the rule and it serves as an impediment to stop you and neutralize you, and a Super Bowl title's on the line, 60 minutes away from it, I don't know if I could sit up there and say, damn, Rodney Harrison is wrong. Bill Romanowski is wrong. I can understand why Josh Norman would have a problem with it because he certainly did. And I respect that. And I respect any of Carolina's players that will have a problem with it.
Yep.
But there's a dude by the name of Peyton Manning across the field that you could do that to as well. Just because you ain't saying it doesn't mean that's not your intent.
Yep.
And I'm just asking you trying to tell me if somebody gets a shot at Peyton's back or makes his neck snap or whatever the case may be, they ain't thinking about doing that to get him out so they can win a Super Bowl? I think they are. Rodney Harrison, Bill Romanowski are just two players who are no longer playing, who won't be on the field, that were honest enough to articulate and verbalize what most people will probably feel. So I'm not going to condemn them. I don't like it. Kind of makes me cringe, but only because I'm like, damn, the knees hurt. I mean, Lord have mercy. But that's about it. I understand where they're coming from, and it's hard for me to condemn them because of that. I get it. I really do.
I don't have any mixed emotions about this at all. I have no problem with what either player said. To paraphrase the old expression, all is fair in love and football. This is high-level battle that we're about to witness. And I believe, now Rodney's on obviously a prominent platform now, and you think, well, that's beneath his dignity just to say something like that. I think Rodney is sending a signal to today's players. If I were in your shoes, I'd be talking about going after his knees because maybe he wouldn't go after. Although Rodney had to say, he took his cheap shots, and he was highly penalized, as was Romanowski. And see Trent Green, that led the way. That was Rodney Harrison going after Trent Green that opened the door for Kurt Warner. But my point is, I believe Rodney, if he were on the opposing team this week, would be talking about going after Cam Newton's knees just to plant the seeds of doubt in Cam Newton's head that, wow, would they really resort? Well, he wants you to believe, to think about it, to be distracted by what he's talking about. Now, let's look at Cam Newton. He's doing things we have never seen before, as Cam Newton himself says. There's nothing to compare me to. We are watching a tailback of a quarterback. Never seen that before. They are calling Cam's number on short yardage goal line and saying, you run the ball the way our fullback or our tailback would run the football. And he not only can he do it, he's unstoppable at doing it. And you know what impresses me the most about Cam Newton of all of his talents? Is his durability. And I hate to even bring this up now because I don't want to jinx the young man, but he is incredibly durable because he is running between the tackles, taking on linebackers who are hitting him full strength, and they are falling backward. And he bounces up. I think he's human. I think Cam's, maybe this just in, I think he's human. But he bounces right back up. I'm sure he's battered from the long season, but it doesn't seem to affect his ability to continue to play the 60-minute game that you wonder if Peyton can play. He's taking incredible abuse that is self-inflicted because he's challenging people at the line of scrimmage and getting away with it because he's that big, he's that strong, and he's that durable. And that is a talent to have that kind of durability. So he would probably just say to the Rodney Harrisons of the world, just bring it on, brother.
Well, he can say that, and he may have a point, but then again, he may not. I was talking to Shannon Sharp yesterday, the great Shannon Sharp, on my radio show, Sirius XM, Mad Dog Sports Radio, 1 to 3 p.m. Eastern Time, every weekday. And in talking to Shannon Sharp talked about a defense, and he said, they're going to come hunting now. They're going to come hunting. And let's put into perspective. Derek Wolfe is no joke. Malik Jackson is no joke. DeMarcus Ware should and could very well win his individual matchup. And then there's this dude by the name of Von Miller who comes from all areas. And all I'm saying is that when you look at that and you combine that with the Aqib Talibs and Chris Harrison and TJ Wards and cats like that in the secondary, Denver's defense, number 4 overall, number 1 in yards allowed, number 1 against the pass, number 3 against the rush. Yeah, Cam might run the football, and Denver's weakness is the scrambles that they give to opposing quarterbacks because when they come hunting, that might leave some gaps to be exploited by a quarterback. But that's a quarterback scrambling. That's entirely different than running plays being called for a quarterback.
That's right.
Because if you're a quarterback and you're running the football out of the backfield, and those are designed running plays, this is against the number 3 ranked defense against the rush. And so I look at it from the perspective that if you're Rodney Harrison or Bill Romanowski, if you're the Denver Broncos and you get that kind of advice from guys like that, not that you needed it, but it certainly helps.
Yep.
And it's something to be mindful of. This could be very, very interesting.
No question. Where's Bill Romanowski from, Stephen A? Connecticut.
Oh, Lord.
You know we don't play. All right. I think I have a pretty good idea who our next guest is picking to win the Super Bowl.